If I tell you that I have 3 rotten apples in my pantry, um, that that might be kind of misleading. We don't necessarily know what that means right away. I mean, what if I also told you, but I've got 1,000 apples? Then 3 rotten apples is really not that big of a deal. Or if I say I have 3 rotten apples in my pantry, and actually I only have 3 apples in my pantry, you realize that all my apples are rotten. So that is a big deal. That's a problem. That's kind of sad. I need to go get some new apples, or just throw those apples away. Um, so in math, what we do to describe those kinds of situations is we have a ratio. So ratio is a comparison between two numbers. So if I just say if I just say I've got three, let's make this red so it actually looks like an apple. I've got 3 apples, 3 rotten apples in my pantry. That number in and of itself doesn't mean so much, but if I say 3 out of the 1,000 apples that I do have are rotten, meaning the other 997 are fine, then this number 3 um, is seen in its greater context. It has meaning. You know if it's a big deal or not. So 3 out of 1,000 is what we call a ratio. We could write it like this. Whoops. 3 to 1,000. That's a colon. That's not an equal sign. 3 to 1,000. Uh, we could write it as 3 out of 1,000, like a fraction like that. We could write it as a decimal, like 0.003. It's a 3 in the 3 in the thousands place. A 3 out of 1,000. We call that 0.3%. Those are different ways of representing ratios. This is kind of a pretty normal way to do it. 3 colon 1,000, or fraction 3 out of 1,000. And so a ratio is just a comparison between two numbers. If I just tell you I have 3 rotten apples, I'm not comparing it to anything, so you don't know how serious the situation is. But if I say 3 out of the 1,000 apples that I do have are rotten, meaning the other ones are fine, then the comparison between how many are rotten and how many I do have puts it in context. You see that, it's not that big of a deal. I've got plenty of good apples. So it's a comparison between two numbers. So I could do it in a couple different ways. Let's look at this example. I have a little scene down here, a little forest scene. Mathceratops is waxing eloquent on some impromptu poetry here for your enjoyment. So the ratio of trees to dandelions. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees. And I want to compare it to the number of dandelions. 1, 2, 3 dandelions. So 6 to 3. Or I could write that as a fraction, 6 to 3. The English part, when you say some number to another number, this number goes first. So if I say the ratio of trees to dandelions, then this needs to be trees and this needs to be dandelions. Okay. Or I could also compare, instead of the ratio of comparing the number of trees to the number of dandelions, I could also compare the ratio of trees to the total number of plants here. So there's 6 trees out of 9 total plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 out of 9, or 6 out of 9 of the plants down here are trees.